Death was in the air at Roscoe Street. I'd have to find Alex fast.
When I was a kid, I could not complete this game. I tried many times, but after some years when I tried again, I completed it by taking an interest in the story and embracing the monologues. A movie with a similar feel of the game is Sin City, which also has monologues like Max Payne.
We gotta kill every last rat bastard one of them. Every last one. The Valkyrie at my side is shouting and laughing with the pure, hateful, bloodthirsty joy of the slaughter. And so am I.
Although Sin City came out years later than the game, movies with similar theme are LA Confidential and Chinatown. The graphics of the game are okay. The game uses large locations for you to play in. The game is not known for its facial animations. It is known for the attention to detail. Lots of bullets flying in slow motion, lots of magazines dropping on the floor, particles flying, smoke. The game handles this very effectively without any FPS drops. This really helps well because the bullet time mechanic is constantly used. You can notice the attention to detail in the game. The city looks real. It really looks like New York. This is because the designers of the game had traveled to New York and researched the city. The allies, the buildings. You can notice billboards on the buildings, posters in the train station, vending machines, people creating fires to have warmth in the cold winter. The game has many locations like train stations, bars, residences, etc. The atmosphere is dark and scary as you move through the gritty New York. Remedy Entertainment wanted to create a third-person shooter. The story was going to be about a detective. Titles of the game which were discussed were Dark Justice and Max Heat. The designers researched New York and photographed the locations which were used in the game. Instead of cutscenes, comic panels were used.
The trick in my situation was that there was no trick, no matter what the movies tell you. No rules, no secret mantra, no roadmap. It wasn't about how smart or how good you were. It was chaos and luck, and anyone who thought different was a fool. All you could do was to hang on madly, as long and as hard as you could.
Facial animations were not that developed in that time. The comic panels offered more immersion. Max Payne's face was modeled to look like creator Sam Lake. Many voice actors were relatives. Sam Lake's mother played the villain in the game. Max Payne was voiced by James McCaffrey. Soothing is the word I can describe the sounds in this game by. The sounds of picking up ammo and using painkillers is so soothing and good for the ears. Every gunshot sounds real. The heart beats slowly while in bullet time. The sound of the gun too slows down when you use bullet time. Every bullet sounds effective and real as you keep shooting enemies. The dialogues move from cheesy to good, but the voice acting is good throughout the game. James McCaffrey, who voices Max Payne, really sounds like a hard-boiled detective. The theme of the game is noir. A detective keeps investigating into a mystery, and the mystery gets deeper and deeper. Lots of people, lots of connections, lots of gangs, drug dealers, crime families, the Russian gang. The story and the connections get deeper and deeper. In noir, you can find night or rain. Max Payne uses a different theme. It uses snow. The worst blizzard in New York.
Outside, the mercury was falling fast. It was colder than the devil's heart, raining ice pitchforks as if the heavens were ready to fall. Everyone was running for shelter like there was no tomorrow. It didn't get any better when I got to the subway.
The city falling silent due to the hail of the snow as you go from one location to the other. This theme is the first time I have seen in New York. Like in Sin City, Max Payne keeps monologuing which never gets tiring. The interesting thing about Max Payne is that even though he is suffering, he sounds fun and entertaining. Throughout the game, his diet consists of just donuts because he does not have much time.
I felt thin as death. I've been living on an endless supply of week-old donuts. They were fuel for this crazy furnace inside my head. I couldn't remember when I had last seen the sun. I was on a permanent graveyard shift. When the darkness fell, New York City became something else, any old Sinatra song notwithstanding. Bad things happened in the night, on the streets of that other city. noir York City.
When all this is happening, the guy is still humorous. The game is scary. The enemies enter out of nowhere. Before entering, there is some build-up. They will shout loudly and charge at you, which increases the suspense. Sometimes you're standing in a room and suddenly a door opens, scaring you for a second. You entering into a room and suddenly, due to the sound of a gunshot, sends you into a panic when you can't find the enemy right away. Gameplay is addicting like the painkiller, shooting a bunch of guys with an ingram or cold in slow motion, heart beating, gun blazing, magazines falling. Whenever you use bullet time, you live in those moments. There's also a feature of diving in slow-mo. The satisfaction of diving right when the enemy appears is great. I also realized how easy the gameplay interface is, saving the game with F5 and reloading with F9. Due to these two features, the gameplay becomes like a movie scene for me. If I shot some bad guys and if I was not satisfied with that spectacle, I would reload again and again. I wanted to shoot them at the best angle, with the best spectacle, with the best health. The levels and enemies are arranged in a way that it takes some skill to defeat the enemies. The game has so many locations, lots of detail. Roscoe Street Station has advertisements, platforms, rooms, vending machines, control rooms, tunnels. There is a bank next to the station. The bank has computers, rewards A, B and C, which were robbed by the mafia.
While looking for Alex, I had ended up in the middle of a big-time crime operation.
Let's get the hell out of here!
We'll be fine. Hey! The sucker!
So much for being subtle.
The only location I had a problem with was Ragnarok. It was too dark. The game kept throwing enemies. There was no room to breathe. There were too many enemies. Also, the tone of the location was just a bit weird.
Given the setting, I was surprised to find that somebody had been passing time reading. The paperback was entitled The Age of Murder and Storm. The blurb on the back mentioned Norse mythos and Ragnarok, the end of a Viking world with a terrible winter that covered the earth in ice, when vile crimes were rampant and all humanity lost. I could see how somebody impressionable might get it into their head that we were at the end of time. I was also beginning to see what the nightclub and its owner were all about.
LUPINO'S hotel has furniture, broken down rooms, empty rooms, cupboards, vibrating beds, junkies with guns, dead people, letters, diaries, old elevator.
The old service elevator rumbled down to the bowels of Jack Lupino's hotel.
Basement rooms where the thugs sleep and watch TV.
Previously on Lords and Ladies.
Lady Amelia, Archie Valentine asks for an audience.
Thank you, Lawrence.
My lady.
My lord.
And now, an all-new episode of Lords and Ladies, brought to you in part by Aesir Corporation.
My lady.
My lord.
My lady, there is a matter of great importance I must bring to your attention.
My lord, there is?
Indeed, my lady, there is indeed. From the very first moment we met, upon that distant forest path, there has been sunlight in the autumn leaves blazing like the colors of your hair.
Oh, my lord, you should not speak so.
But my lady...
The hotel is like a maze. The level is scary as you enter rooms and suddenly get shot at.
Get up!
A lifetime ago, this would have gone down as a narcotics arrest.
Hold it! Told you.
God damn! I thought it was a bomb for sure.
Nah, the Russian wouldn't dare. This has been waiting to happen.
I thought it was a bomb.
Lupino's apartment is broken down and run down. Vladimir plants bombs in the apartment which destroys it more. The bombs keep exploding as he navigates through the apartment.
The whole building was rigged with explosives.
It has broken doors, empty rooms. The bombs break the floors which create big holes in them.
The bombs had destroyed all the stairs up to Lupino's office. The alternate route led there by way of adjoining rooftops.
The docks have large crates as you navigate through them to find the cargo ship Charon. Here you can put your sniper rifle to use. The cargo ship is small level, but it is fun. The Punchinello Manor is big, having many rooms. The cold steel foundry is big, having many platforms, passageways, alarms, laser traps, advanced security. The AI in this mission becomes more advanced. They ambush you from nowhere.
Oh, hell no. You do?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Hey, let's hear it.
Well, I call it Dick Justice.
I rest my case.
Self-destruction imminent. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15,
In the parking lot you fight an entire mob. You go around in circles in the parking lot as the cars of the mob blast you with machine guns while destroying other cars. Wandering around, mob cars arrive and goons attack you. It's a long fight. The Asgard Building is huge, consisting of a secret group. It has large rooms where the members meet, long stairways, access doors, scary commando enemies.
That was the cue for the killer suits to kick in the doors and swarm inside. It was an impressive floor show, but I decided to leave early anyway. It was only a one-story fall. Lucky me.
The Aesir Corporation building is a huge high-tech building having laser traps, access doors, metal detectors, a large amount of enemies come to attack.
Seen from this height, the night seemed to stretch on to eternity. A hint of desperation had crept into the snowstorm, as if it was trying to get it all out before the end. New York disappeared behind a veil of snow. I had crossed the threshold. This was her domain, sleek and sexy and soulless, all glass and steel. A place of color-coded security keycards, metal detectors, and surveillance systems. Colder than a walk-in fridge. Cold as a gun.
Max Payne is really an interesting game, having a noir theme. It really paved the way to have something different and to have interesting storytelling in games. Although now an old game, Max Payne is still enjoyable, having a good voice, narrating the story, style, twists, and turns. What do you think about Max Payne? Make sure to comment below, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Pat, and I'll see you next time.